Hello everyone, welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Welcome to your class on essay writing. I hope you can see me and hear me clearly. Please give me a thumbs up if you can, and then we shall start the session. Quickly, let me know if you can see me and hear me. Vinay, can you hear me and see me clearly? Let me know, and then we will start. All right. Now, all of you, hello Sonali, hello Vinay, hello everybody. As you know, this is the unknown section, which is why all of you are slightly scared of this section. It's an easy section. There is an ideal scenario and there is a timed test scenario. So I will explain to you the easy way to ace this section without any tension. All right. So basically, remember, it's not a part of the main question paper. The 180 minutes for the main question paper are only for VALR, Quant, and whatever other sections. GK and essay writing is part of the second section. Hello, Abhishek. All right, you get a gap of 5 minutes where you test your keyboard. All the keys are working, and then you start the essay writing section, which is GK and essay writing. So there is no tension in a way because your test is almost done, already done. The essay writing section only comes into play once you have qualified in the written section. So obviously your effort will be to make sure that people read your essay, right? Usually XAT essays come in the form of a statement or a quote, right? So the key here is if you understand and the quote is generally based on social economic issues, current affairs. For example, right now, uh, there is the Ukraine war on one side. So there are a lot of tensions in the Middle East, Gaza and Hamas. So we might get a topic related to war in general. It will not say anything about who is right in the Israel Hamas conflict, Israel Palestinian conflict. Rather, it will give a quote on by somebody like Einstein once said, "I do not know about if there is another world war, people will fight with sticks and stones." That means we'll go back full circle. Development, the world will be destroyed almost. So we'll be fighting with sticks and stones. There was a topic once that the third world war will be fought on water. That's going to be the scarcest resource. Okay, so it could be any quote related to war, any quote related to, hello Shraddha, to something current. All right, something on automation, chat GPT, something on technology, destroying mankind, mankind destroying itself through technology. So last year, generally year before last, there were 2 topics. Last year, they gave us 3 topics. There is no mention of the word limit. I think it said no more than 300. But remember, in half an hour with 10 minutes gone on GK or 5 minutes gone on GK, you just have to mark how many questions you know. Quickly you mark. There's not much you can really write. And especially after a 3-hour exam, you'll be exhausted. Exhausted. So I would normally sit. I feel bad for the students. I would sit and do something. Having said that, let me just come back to the next topic. A lot of students have been asking me, Shraddha, let's talk about XAT today. All these percentiles, ask Gautam, ask Srinivas, they are the experts. All right, please put up this question on percentile. Where do I get in? Today I have a lot to do on essays and I'll give you all the gyan that I know about essays. But I want to just clarify one thing. We take tests to know the paper so that we can set good marks for you. We know what kind of stress you're taking through. Okay. Only once I was asked by my company that take the test and get as high a percentile as you can in your section. Only then we will take you into the to as an instructor, which is why I had to take the English section and get a high percentile. Once I'm done, then I'm not bothered after that. So right now, how did I take the test? I only marked the questions where I had a great doubt, A hoga ki B hoga. Okay, the other questions where I was sure of my answer, I did not. And I solved the English section in 25 minutes. I saw how fast I could go in 25 minutes. So we as mentors, at least at BYJU'S, we do not advertise every year that I got 100 percentile. We do not do that. All we do is, yes, I was capable of getting a 99.95 percentile. I got it once. I'm here to prove it to you. All right, so that is out of the way. So this essay section, as I said, there was no chance of my qualifying anyway. But I just couldn't write. I was just sitting. I love writing. I love writing. But I could not write because I was so tired just looking at the questions and thinking of the students and trying to answer them, answering it on my rough sheet. So you will be tired and you will not be at your best. So what I'm explaining is an ideal scenario on how an essay should be written. Actually, can you implement it during the test? Sometimes you may, sometimes you may not. It depends on the topic, it depends on your frame of mind, it depends on how tired you are. Having said that, please build your stamina for a long test, because that is a long test. And learn to strategize the different sections. I think Gaurav took a very nice section on that strategy. So did Gautam Bawa. So look at their sessions on that strategy, how you should take it, what is the best approach to maximizing your scores. All right, so for a few years we did not have the essay writing section, so my job was easier in the sense I didn't have to teach essays. Wherever I go, I teach essays. But it started again. Okay, 1919 to 21 there were no essays. 22 again it started. Okay, 3 questions were given and you had to choose one. Let's just look at, but remember, only after the written test and you get through the writtens is the GK and essay section evaluated. All right. These were the 3 topics last year. We're not going to discuss the topics right now, but I would want you to write on one of the topics for my next class, which is on the 29th, I think. All right, day after tomorrow, if I'm not wrong. All right, so last year there was one on risk management, whether risk is beneficial, whether the absence of risk is as bad as and paralyzes you, leads to boredom and paralyzes any initiative and action from a human being. There are plenty of books and articles on risk. Read a couple of them and you will know how beautifully you can write an essay on this. We'll talk about this later. The second one was India has made a net zero commitment, and many people are saying it's by 2020, 30 or 50 or something. It's made a commitment. All people, as everyone says, it's overcommitment. We cannot become net zero by that date. So is it really bad for us? Will it have consequences for us? What kind of consequences? Or does our government know, our government knows what it's doing, which is why it has committed? All right. Third one is, you know, they say this about Jimmy Carter, Barack Obama, very intelligent people, but they did not necessarily make the best presidents. Because what happens when you have a lot of intelligence, you keep thinking of pros and cons of every situation. You keep doubting yourself because there are so many things that your brain throws up. So here he says, somebody with the same IQ as you is making 10 times as much because they aren't smart enough to doubt themselves. Is that true? Do you agree with it? Do you agree that one has to be a little less intelligent to really become successful or make more money in life? If yes, why? If no, why not? All right, that's what it's asking. So it's a question of opinion that is being asked. One is so the first one would test your logic along with a little bit of knowledge on risk management and whether you're really aware of certain topics which are so current in management. The second one gives you knowledge of what India has committed, the climate, the COP conferences that are happening, and what is India's commitment. what does really net zero emissions mean for a country, especially a developing country like India. And the third one is about what are the traits that are really required to be successful in life. Hello. All right. Okay, now let's just quickly look at some of the earlier topics. Okay, this is the first of two parts of essay writing. So I will go through the steps of essay writing. We will discuss one or two easier topics, and then I would ask you to think at least of an outline of a couple of topics which we can discuss in the next class. The biggest uh, problem I face is typing takes time. So when you people type, you have to really make it short sentence and give me just the bullet points when we discuss the topics. That way we can get as many points as we can discuss a topic and roughly what is the outline, whether I can tell you whether you're going in the right direction or not. 2022, the first topic was whether capitalism and democracy can coexist or it cannot coexist. Now, this goes a lot into you define capitalism, you define the ideals of a democracy, and then argue whether these two are really clash with each other or they can coexist. And why is this question being asked in the first place? In the second one, in management, we don't need people who have never experienced setbacks. That means failure is a good teacher, and in management, you learn a lot more through failures than successes. All right, and then you give examples. A very common topic. Remember, there are certain evergreen topics, and one is the 2018 top. Oh, what happened here? One is the 2018 topic, which is that ethics, ethics and business cannot coexist. Ethical practices and sustainability, do they coexist? All right, so ethics in business, ethics is a big topic. Ethics in business, a business cannot be successful without ethics. Ethical practices and sustainability, can they coexist? Lot of these questions. 2017, unfortunately, a lot of students did not know the meaning of jingoism and wrote whatever came to their head. So key in that is to understand what is jingoism. Excessive nationalism, obsessive nationalism, where you say my country is the best and the rest are all bad, right? That is it. So not objectively, it's like a zealousness, a fanaticism about your country, which refuses to look objectively at your country or someone else. That is jingoism. And can it coexist with globalization, which says that all it's a borderless world, right? So if you understand it, you will write. If you don't, then what do you do? That's also a topic we're going to talk about, because it's a very common question that most students ask me. What if I get a topic about which I know nothing? All right. Technology, development and nature are natural enemies. Technology and nature are natural enemies. Technology and nature are mutually exclusive. That means as technology develops, nature is destroyed. Do you agree? As a country develops more and more, the environment or nature is damaged more and more irretrievably. So do you agree with it? 2015 was one of the toughest topics, because yeah, you may agree with the topic or disagree with the topic. What do you write? Listening is a dying art. We hardly listen to understand. We only listen to refute or reply. Yes, yes, that is true. After that, what do you write? Okay. That's what we're talking about, Kushal. Okay. Do we need a difficult language? No. All right. Same IQ name. It didn't say same IQ. It said the topic didn't say someone with same IQ. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Not more intelligent. Not is about doubting yourself. I'm sorry, I read the question wrong. Okay. Then you're I'm talking about that, Kushal, about language, Ishwari, and about topics. All right. So these were some of the topics that we had in the past years. Corruption is the root cause of economic slowdown. Government is not. So I told you ethics is one topic you read about. Next one is sustainable development. And another common topic is, of course, corruption. All right, some form or the other. And social issues like poverty, economic and social inequality, and what can be done about it, and topics like that. All right, so now, like some of your friends have asked, what language do I use? Your natural language. All right, why is the essay writing section given in the first place? Earlier they had group discussions, and everyone talks about group discussions turning into a fish market. That cliche is actually true. Not just a fish market. If there is something more chaotic, more louder than a fish market, then it is that market. Everybody shouts because everybody wants to put his ideas forward. What should be the approach? Straightforward approach. Answer the question that is asked, Vrinda, because you won't have time for anything else. Believe me. I'm going to tell you something about good introduction, something about the ideal way of writing, but in an ideal scenario, suppose I give you a topic to write now, then you can think of approaches based on the question. But when you have half an hour at the end of a long 3-hour test, your brain, believe me, will not function. So the key is understand what the topic is asking. Somebody was saying, I don't understand the topic. I will tell you how to understand it. Having said that, think of the essay as a question. And then once the question is, you change the topic into a question, the answer to the topic is your essay. How to start writing first? What does that mean? I will tell you. Fast or first? So they want to say if you can think logically and build an argument. So what are they looking at? They're looking at you building an argument. That's exactly what a group discussion does. You speak on a topic, you try to give points to support your topic. That is what they are seeing in an essay. So if you want, it would be any idea. Can you express your ideas clearly and properly? Now to answer your question, Kushal, Kushal, understand the topic. Okay, how do you understand the topic? Please read the topic 3, 4, 5 times. Say it in your own words and ask yourself, what is the topic asking? Jingoism का मतलब क्या हो सकता है? What is the opposite of globalization? Nationalism. Extreme nationalism is jingoism. So you use your logic to guess the meaning of a word if you do not know. But in most cases, the words that they give in that question are not people would think that students writing an MBA entrance exam would know the meaning of jingoism because it's used so often in the newspapers. But suppose you do not know. Suppose in the worst case scenario that you don't know the meaning, try to guess what it means by reading the sentence 2, 3, or 4 times and decide. I told you, right, Pravalika, are they opposite? So you know what is globalization? The world is one borderless world, right? Open lines of trade and business across countries, equal movement of people across countries. So jingoism must be the opposite. Look at it like that. That's what I'm saying. All right. So it is normally in the form of a quote, and the biggest point in that is to understand the question. How do you understand it? Please put it in your own words. Please rephrase the sentence. Break it down into the words. No, the words that is the elements. All right. Corruption is the root cause of economic slowdown in India. You know what is corruption? Is it the root cause, the main cause, the cause that leads to everything else of economic slowdown? So now you know these 3 points. How do I build my essay? Right? Of all the topics I gave you, except the jingoism word, did any other word appear to be difficult? I'm just asking you, right? except for Pravalika, except the jingoism topic, which did. So another topic asked many years back was, and I know this, I remember one student coming out and crying because she just read the essay topic so fast, she just wrote an essay. A billion Indians, a great opportunity, a sea of opportunity, or a big threat, or a big problem, something like that. The biggest problem for India, the greatest challenge for India, or is a billion opening up a sea of opportunities? She only saw the word sea. I'm not kidding. She said she wrote all about how oceans and seas are helpful, all about water and how we need water. So the key is, do not rush to write your essay. Do take time to understand the topic. Jo bhi samjhe, doesn't matter. Read it 3, 4, 5 times. Another topic which troubled students a lot was, see, the more general topics where you cannot associate it with anything practical like some current event or some social issue becomes difficult. So they asked this famous architect Frank Lloyd Webber, which is your best, at 89 or 90 or 80 or some age, they asked him, which is your best work ever? And he said, my next one. He just finished a project. About that project, they said, of all the projects that you've done, which is your best? And he said, my next. That's it. And then they said, discuss. So you have to think, what does it mean when an 80-year-old man who's known to be one of the greatest architects in the world is asked, what is your best work? And he says, my best is yet to come. What does that mean? So try to think. Interpret the sentence any which way you want. Let me just tell you, they are not, unless it's way off, they are not really looking at your ability to literally interpret something. Your interpretation may be a little different from mine. What they are looking at is, this is the topic, this student has understood it like this and written it this way. So the key they are looking at is, how have you understood the topic? Generally, you don't go way off. Relevant. Is your essay really answering the topic? The relevance. You can't write about something. Once they asked, internet builds connections but destroys relationships. ये GD या essay कहीं पे था. Most students wrote about internet, this, internet, that, the good points about internet, the bad points about internet. You're not answering the question. What they asked is, it is doing both. Through its ability to connect, it is connecting, but in this process, it's also destroying relationships. Do you agree? Don't you agree? You partly agree, partly don't agree, whatever your answer. But the key is, understand what the question is asking, and Kushal, you can know it by putting it in your own words. If you want, put it in your own language, whatever your mother tongue. Say it 3, 4, 5 times, and you will understand what it is asking. Then, if it is just, do you agree? Then you know that it's in a form of agree or disagree. Most XAT topics only ask you to discuss. That means they're leaving it open to you. जैसे भी लिखना है लिखो. So then it's up to you. You can say this statement, I agree with this statement, I disagree with this statement, and write points for and against. Or you can define the topic and then you can take it up from there. Different aspects of the topic, impact of internet on society. You can write so much. But remember, when the topic is easier, it is harder to write because your essay needs a structure. I can't write everything I know about the subject. I only need to write those points which are relevant to the topic. So if they ask you something like impact of internet on society, you got to think of, okay, what are the different, how are you going to think of society and the demographics in terms of different professions, different age groups, urban, rural, educated, uneducated. So you can divide them and you say impact for this section has been highest, most positive, impact for this section has been lowest, negative, or whatever. That gives a structure to this. That is what they are looking at. Your ability to write logically, your ability to write coherently, whatever the argument you are writing. Okay, that is important. So globalization and jingoism, even if you didn't understand the meaning of jingoism, you understood it as fanaticism or you didn't understand it. You wrote something. But at least as far as you said that globalization is good for everybody, you half at least point I'll say, isko to globalization ke bare mein pata hai, ye ko to kuch likh raha hai. So I'm not sure if you're, so in W18 CAT, you are evaluated on a score of 10. I do not know about that. Most often, at least earlier, it was just an impression, but you just couldn't leave the page blank. That shows that you're not willing to even take up the challenge of essay writing. You've been given half an hour and you wasted the time. So you please do not just write 2 lines and go away. Write whatever you can think of properly in that half an hour. It's difficult. I'm not saying no. Now we come to, somebody was saying, how do I start the essay? This part, remember, these 2 parts is only mental. Till now you have not used your keyboard yet. Okay, your rough paper is there. Think of a good outline. Let's say we talking of impact of internet builds connections, destroys relationships, or there are 2 Indias. While India is moving forward, Bharat is trailing behind. Do you believe in that? Do you agree with that? Okay, do you believe that there are actually 2 Indias, one India and one Bharat, one India which is progressing and a Bharat which is lagging behind? Yes, no, or just discuss. What do you think is the India? Which part of it? Is there a separate part of India? Can you dissociate India into 2 independent parts? The westernized part and the heart of India. Is that Bharat? Do you agree with it? Agree, disagree, halfway. So you first have to think about points for the topic. I can talk about this. Here in a piece of paper, just write bullet points, your rough paper. What examples can I give? A point without an example, which is not substantiated with an example, becomes an opinion. They don't want opinions. In the worst case scenario, koi example malum nahi hai, तो obviously you have to give opinions only. I'm talking of the ideal scenario. After that, I will Jayesh has a curious problem. We'll talk about that, Jayesh. Okay. So that is the key. So in an ideal scenario, you have the piece of paper with you. I got the center of third preference Bangalore. He's booked the flight tickets, book flexi tickets when it's a question of that, or cancel before some days. You will at least get something back. Agreed. There is a glitch. Everybody has got third preference and fourth preference and all that. I didn't even look at it. Okay, wait, Jayesh. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they do. Don't, if you go ahead and cancel your tickets and then it remains Bangalore, then what do you do? No. So wait, see if by tonight they said it should be fixed. Let's see if they give you the city of your first preference only. You have to cancel your tickets, but tell them this is the emergency, this is what happened. They may even consider your case, right, Jayesh? All right. Now you have got your points. All right. Now that you've got your points and rough examples, you'll say, I'll give the example of uh, Air India takeover. I'll give the example of this. I'll give the example of the elections that happened in the US last time. So you've got some examples. Then you think of a good outline. Outline is the final structure of your essay. Now, there are lots of wonderful ways in which you can introduce your essay. But these are for, yeah, you can raise the query. Absolutely. You can start with statistics. You can start with a quote. You can start with an anecdote, a small, a short story kind of a thing, which is related to the topic. But the key is in the exam, you normally can, if you, sometimes you're lucky that you may know a quote. Remember, the quote has to be exact. Just you don't, please don't insult the intelligence of the examiner. Write some rubbish and say Shakespeare said it. Yeah, put it in your own words. I read somewhere. Aisa nahi. If you know something apt, please quote. In most cases, I tell students start directly. Come to the point immediately best. क्योंकि time नहीं है. All right. So generally, 4 paragraphs is more than enough, max 5. First paragraph is an introduction where you restate the topic in your own words. Do not ever cut paste the topic. That's a waste of time both for you and the examiner. The examiner knows, but he has to know whether you've chosen topic 1, 2, or 3, right? No, no, no. Lot of people are not able to download. I couldn't download either. Lot of people who haven't been able to download. Those who have downloaded are in a worse position now because they've all got, somebody in Delhi has got Meerut, somebody has got a center which is 160 kilometers away. All the Bangalore people who had given Bangalore as their first choice have all got Mysore. So everybody, that was I think the glitch. Will they give 3 to choose from? Sindhura last year they gave 3. Year before they gave 2. So depends on them, their choice. I assume they'll give 2 or 3. All right, 3 would be ideal. 3, did you see the variation? All 3 are different types, right? So depends, you have whatever you're most comfortable with, you choose that. Then you start directly as in restating the topic, like India's carbon commitment. So the person knows India's net zero commitment. Many experts believe that India has overcommitted where net zero date is concerned. Okay, it is going to affect us or not. So then somebody else will then understand that, okay, she's now talking on the net zero thing. Or you will say it is inherently a human tendency to take risks. Okay, as we grow, we become more and more afraid to take risks. Therefore, and then somebody knows that you're talking about risk management. So the introduction should be restating the topic and giving us a clue about what you're going to say about this topic. Okay, the body can be 2 or 3 paragraphs. If it's an agree disagree kind of topic, 2-3 paragraphs you can give supporting your view, and then second last, just before the conclusion, you can sum up the opposition view and then give a good conclusion. Okay. All kinds of things, 4K cab, all right. Close options to that may hai, definitely. Again, my key would be restate the topics and don't be in a hurry. That is not a speed game unlike CAT. So you have plenty of time to think of the right answer, mark it and move ahead. You're getting almost 2 minutes per option. So let's say B and C are close. Read them and understand. Our seasons at are I mean, the questions are ambiguous. CR is not as difficult as we think it is. And attend all the crash course sessions. We have tried to incorporate the kind of questions that they ask in CR, RC, and all. So do attend the classes. Okay. Sindhura's had to literally go on an excursion for her CAT exams. That, let's see. Oh, that also the same said. Let's see. This, it's still not out. Okay, somebody's question on language. Use your natural language. You know, my English teacher told me that write to express, don't write to impress. Okay, you are trying to put your ideas across, and that is important, not to impress somebody with a long quote whose beginning you don't know and end you don't know. All right, meaning of the topic, Kushal, you have to read and understand. I am stuck with 2 options both in RC and DM. DM should be easier, Jayesh. Normally, see, if the DM passages are hard, the options are easy. All right. So use your natural language in an essay. Please let us stick to essay. All right. When we talk of RCs, I will take your RC questions. I'm getting diverted. So I normally tell students, keep your sentences short and simple. That way they'll be error free. पैरेललिज्म का प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, स्पेलिंग का प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, ग्रामर का बिल्कुल प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. So you keep your sentences short and simple, but don't keep them all short. Then it will look like machine gun fire. I agree. I think this is a good idea. Full stop. ऐसा नहीं. Just keep, don't write overly long sentences. Don't philosophize. Generally, earlier, the topics in WAT used to be, this is a bane or a boon, this is good for us or not. Most students came up with this philosophical topic at the beginning. Analogies, I said you start with comparison. So somebody said, just like we have 5 fingers, India and Pakistan have 5 areas of disagreement. What is the connection between 5 fingers and India and Pakistan relations? Somebody else once wrote, uh, a knife can be used to cut a fruit and also to kill a person. So same way, it depends on how you use it. That is the answer for everything. Is television good for you? Well, it depends on how you use it. Is TV good for you? It depends on how you use it. ये answer नहीं है ये. You have to say like, this is good. Obviously, they are asking by and large which part, what are people using it as? Are they going towards the negatives of internet usage or the positives? What are people, what is the general tendency of people by and large? That's what they're asking. So you can't say it all depends on the individual. Isme kya hai? That's not the answer to any question. All right. Attend our VALR sessions. All right. Samriddhi, past year questions, the best way to practice your essays. Spend a minute to review your essays and check for typos. But I think RC in RC, what you need to do, that RC is not very difficult if you read the passage properly. That is number one. XAT also has certain questions, at least 3-4 sitters, grammar, and fill in the blanks. All right. So it gives you some scope to make up marks. All right. So sometimes, yes, options are closed. Then you read both the options and look at which is the best of both bad options. Right. All right. Because last year, if you looked at the CR questions, they were not that tough. Last year, DM also, except that one with the chef who had to make 8 dishes or something, which I didn't even look at it. All other decision making questions were very easy, right? So it's just testing your common sense. Um, Not too much, Pradeep, unless you write I as a small I. It kills my soul whenever I see people. I am so and so. I am an actor or whatever. If you're writing, many people write I like this, and this is what kills me. But yeah, your language should, as far as possible, be error free, but not. I I mean, I don't think they'd be sitting and looking at each line. See, as I said, I know in CAT how they look at. They give you marks out of 10, but that I'm not very sure what the evaluation parameters are. Generally, the evaluation parameters would be language, content, and presentation. Language, as far as possible, should be error free, something that the moment I read, I understand. Instead of saying, hey, what is he written? Nothing is the substance of everything. It is the nothingness that makes up everything. Nothing is nothing but everything. If you talk like that, then it's very difficult. So you have to make sure your sentences are, one, your handwriting is legible, in not handwriting, nahi, typing hai, fantastic. That's the best part. That the language that you write is comprehensible. I can understand what you're writing. Content should not be junk. Your point is there. You have an example to substantiate the point, or you have a reason to back up your point, and then you sum it up well. You can't just write 100 points and not tie it up. That is important. All right. So spelling errors, again, if it is, don't write words whose spellings you don't know, but they're not really looking so carefully, not with the, they're not really looking at it through a magnifying glass to see, oh, kitna errors hai. They're not going to be counting that. But it shouldn't have too many errors. Try to make it as error free as possible. All right. I hope not, Vanshita. Vanshita, I hope not. If you got your center of your preference, just wait, guys. Let the admit cards come out. Okay, let's concentrate on the essay bit. आप essay के बारे में सुन ही नहीं रहे हो. You're talking only about your RCs. All right. Give me an outline quickly of this essay. If you are asked to write this essay, what are the points you would quickly outline? What would you, let's get the first question. Give me an outline. Outline means what are the main points you would write? What are the examples you will write? Those are the two things. Corruption is the root cause of economic slowdown in India. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't change. Vanshita, let's just hope and pray it doesn't change. Okay? But don't get worked up about it. And same thing with Jayesh. You're not going to help yourself if you worry about it. Ane do, when they give the admit cards, decide what to do. Meanwhile, send this thing to the airline saying this is my problem. All right? Okay. What is it you will write in your outline? Quickly. This is the topic given to you. You have finished your GK. You have start typing. So quickly on your rough paper, what will you do? You will first read this and simplify it. Who is going to rephrase the topic in your own words, not using these words? Rephrase. No, first rephrase the topic to me. Okay, Sindhura's writing, what is corruption? Black impact of corruption on society, black money, inflation, effects on economy, GDP, recession. All right. Intro, what is corruption? How does it affect the government? How it is not the only cause for corruption. All right, Jayesh Rathi. Now he's come to the point. Is corruption the root cause of economic slowdown? Jayesh's outline would be not root or only cause. Root means main cause, not only cause. Whether it's the main cause or not. And he'd say, no, there are many causes of corruption. So probably your first para would be either to talk about what you mean by corruption, or what are the various causes of corruption uh, of various causes of economic slowdown, of which corruption is one and an important one. Okay? Next, so this is your first paragraph. Intro mein likh liya. Little intro, small. No, remember, as far as possible, intro and conclusion would be smaller. The body, 3 paragraphs should be of the same size. Your intro cannot be just one sentence, Sonali. Along with the intro, you can give a hint about your uh, the plan of your essay. So you can say what is corruption is this. If we define corruption or describe corruption in this way, we can see it's a main cause of corruption, though not the only cause. There are many causes. Then you can go about with how it is the main cause. It is the main cause, then how. Okay, everything is related to that. If it is not, how it is not, then what are the causes? Okay, and then come to your conclusion. Right? Intro, effect, impact, examples. All right. So, but your intro, what are you going to write? Whether corruption is a cause of economic slowdown along with others, or there are other causes. So, you can sum up all the causes in your intro and say corruption is one of them. How is it one of them? Paragraph 2. Paragraph 3 also you can continue. Yeah, what it does. And then you sum up. All right. Simple, Neeraj. Short and simple, I told you. Your natural language. That is what I want you to use. Your natural language. Some people have a natural flowery style of language, then you can write like that. But generally, I tell students simple, simple, because that way the examiner doesn't have to strain his brains to understand what you are saying. He or she can understand what you are saying at one glance. And then that, if I can read an essay in, so when I grade essays, I do it for, done it for the Achievers batch. Now for WAT, I'll be doing it. I read the sentence in 40 seconds flat, 1 minute, less than a minute, and I decide then itself, हाँ ये तो 6 on 10 material है, 5 on 10 material है, 7 on 10 material है. Then I read the passage, the essay again, and I decide, does he or she deserve a 6, or should I give him a 6.5 or a 7? Got it? That is how I would go about it. Okay, all right. For the next class, I want you to choose any one of the topics. Actually, I want you to do the topic on risk, last year's first topic. 29th is my next class. Okay. I would actually allow you to choose any one, but I prefer that you read 2-3 articles on risk management, on the benefits of risk, everything. Individual, company, success. All right, articles, plenty. I was just going through it today. There are too many of them. Read 2 or 3 articles or two, okay? And then think of how you would write an essay on this topic. All right. If you find this doesn't interest you, then you can go to 2 or 3, but I would want you to do this and write a good outline. This is what I would write. This is what I would write. This is what I would write. Okay. So next class, when we discuss essay writing again, you'll tell me, give me a brief in 3 or 4 sentences. You give me the outline of your essay. At home, I want you to type first, no, for the which choose any one of these topics. Read up about this, this, and this. Okay, let's see what I want you to do for the next class. I want you to read up about all 3 topics, 2 or 3 articles. All right, decide on which topic you want to type an essay into your computer in 15 minutes. Think, this is the topic, break it up, write an outline. The outline I will discuss with you tomorrow, next time. I want you to tell me what your outline is. And then once you've got all that, type your essay into your computer, time yourself to 15 minutes. Somebody was asking, how do I practice essay writing? This is how you practice. So what have you done? You've written a complete essay for 15 minutes, but you have done background reading for 3 topics. Is that okay? Next time, I think 29th, I have a class at 7 p.m. on essay writing, if I'm not wrong. Correct? When is my next class on essay, crash course itself? We have one more class on essay writing. And that time I'll go through the basics again quickly. And then I want you to give me the outlines. Clear? Read up on all 3 topics. Write the outline and the essay for the first one. And in the class, I want you to discuss the outline with me. All right? Okay. That's for next class. Now quickly, any questions? Not about your CAT percentile. All right. Should I directly start? Do I refer to some article? Samriddhi, for the next class, I want you to read some articles and then type. In the exam, obviously, you're not getting that choice. This is just to tell you how people would write on an essay. See, when you read an article, certain points will be there in your mind. Like you'll grasp the main points of an article. Let's say you read 2-3 articles. You may agree with one author, you may disagree with the other one. Or you would say, oh, the same topic this guy has written so well and this person has not. Our main problem is we don't read enough. So we are all busy. There's too much to do. So read up for these three topics, read up, and you're getting a wide range of topics. Once you're done that, put the books aside. Do not cut paste anything from those articles. Start writing the outline. Okay, once your outline is ready, then decide what will I do for my introduction, what will I do for the body, what will I mention as the main points, what will I do for the conclusion. That is what you're going to tell me. In my intro, I'm going to mention some statistics. I have some interesting statistics in my head. For the body, I'm going to do this. For the conclusion, I'm going to do this. You are imagining an ideal scenario when you know the topic, when you have all these facts at your fingertips, which we don't. But if you do a little bit of reading before that, at least on past year topics, you would have. So we'll start with last year, and then I'll ask you to do previous year, 2-3 topics that you find the toughest, and you can at least practice writing outlines, if not the entire essay. Okay, it's a break from your preparation for that, and you'll enjoy the process of writing. Okay, yeah, I hope you do. All right, any questions? Always simple language, clear, consistent, and coherent presentation. Content, as far as possible, use reasons and examples to illustrate your point. All right, all three topics, read up, write an essay in 15 minutes, and be ready with an outline for the next class for me. All right, any questions? I'll take your questions and then we will end the class. When you start typing the essay, give yourself 15 minutes. From the moment you start typing the essay, give yourself 15 minutes. Because I assume the other 10 minutes would go in answering GK, another 3-4 minutes to plan your essay. Previous year essay topics are there everywhere, including in today's class. You can go back, you can see. I've given the previous 5-6 years. Sonali, you have to think whatever you know about the topic. Actually, the topics about which you don't know much, you end up writing good essays. You do, because you think, and then you think and write points. You deep into your brain, kahin kuch to padha tha, and you write better things. If it isn't, you make up something and write, but never leave. Try to write a good essay of 150 words, at least 200 words at least. Don't say I don't know anything about it and leave. Something in the introduction you write, but it's highly unlikely that you'll get a topic about which you don't know anything. The best things in life are not things. You can't write about it. You can. Listening and hearing, we all only argue. We don't listen. Is it a difficult topic? You saw what are the topics. इसमें से except jingoism which students didn't understand, a billion Indians, is it an advantage or a disadvantage? That's what the topic was asking. A big population, a country with a huge population like ours, is it an advantage or a disadvantage? So when you really read the topics, that's what they ask. They actually are trying to, if you can simplify it and you say, okay, I can write something about this. That's what you're doing. All right. Overall essays, nothing is written. Every website, including BYJU'S app, somebody has given an essay. Somebody has written points. All right. But overall, some essay, I'll give a sample essay I had done of sustainability in development in the last class. I will put it up for you to read, but I don't like to put it on the net. So for a paid batch students, I sometimes show them this is how you can write an essay. Overall essay, I told you, ideal conditions. You give me, it's not fair. You give me 1 hour to write on a topic, I'll write a beautiful essay. But in the exam, when you are asked, the only thing we can tell you is this is the point, this is the way to go about it. They are also not looking at it so closely. They're not seeing 3 points, Kushal has made 3 points, Sonali has written 6. That's not the way they're comparing your essay. What are the points? How well you have developed the points? What kind of examples have you given? How have you tied up your entire argument? You are building an argument. That's what they are looking at. So develop that writing skill on how to. They also know that you people are totally out of touch with writing essays, that after your 10th grade or 12th grade you've never written anything more than a paragraph. They understand all that. So what they are testing is your ability to understand the topic and write a few points relevant to the topic. They are not looking to see, is there a Shakespeare here, is there a Wordsworth here. So don't worry about that. All right. Overall, write the essay in your own way, Kushal. Do not look at anybody else. Just say, okay, this is the topic. That's why I said read articles, read an editorial on the issue. And then you say so, and then read it and put it aside. Don't have to remember what that person said. So you will have an idea on how editors discuss a topic. Then you say, okay, this is how I write. All right. So I want you all to practice. Okay. All three topics, as I said, read up about it, write about the first one and the outline of the first one. All right. Clear, everyone? Okay. I will see you again very soon. We have lots of things to do. Let me go back. We've done all these points, steps in writing essays. We've done this. And tomorrow we have Saral with numbers. Friday again essay writing. So I want them, whatever, don't try to do too much. All right, whatever you can. If you can't read up about all three topics, read up about one. 30th, Vikrant will take a session on critical reasoning. Do attend that. Critical reasoning, you can score a lot of marks, short paragraphs with a question on it. And GK on the 31st, Abhimanyu will be taking again the few marks. You need 2 or 3 marks for GK, you will get it. All right. Uh, our OMET series is on, and don't forget to join us for our analysis on Jan 7th. All right, and don't worry about your mentors writing the exam. Your mentors are writing the exam only to know what the paper is like. They are not a competition for you in any way. All right, we are not advertising that we are 100% tilers. We have to do it once to see if we are fit enough to teach you. And at least I've done it a million years back and I'm happy. Done. Ho gaya. All right, the tension is off us also, and that makes the exam so much easier. So the pressure that you people are under, we do understand. All right, in the IIM selection process, how much time do we get? 20 minutes. Ahmedabad is 18 minutes. Lucknow is 25 minutes. So anywhere, average is between 50 to 30 minutes. But generally, we tell students to uh, develop writing skills in 15 to 20 minutes. All right. We will be doing WAT sessions also. So don't worry about that. All right. Once the process kickstarts, we'll do that. All right. That's why the ideal time for you is 15-20 minutes. All right. Okay. Thank you. Yes, your knowledge of figures of speech is good. All right. The paradox or irony is that I say I'm 20 plus years and I also say that I lived during the age of the dinosaurs. All right, guys, I will see you again on the 29th, but do join us every day at 7 p.m. All right, every day for the crash course sessions. Bye bye.